you've kind of been in your own fortress of solitude. And then I hit you up and I was like, yo, James Gunn and the DCU are coming in swinging. Check this out. You've seen the teaser trailer. What's up?
Yes. Yeah, I am literally coming in hot. I only got a chance to watch the trailer, I think maybe about 50 minutes ago or something like that. I literally just got done exporting all my videos. I didn't even have time to upload it because by the time I did, y'all would have been gone. But God, I don't even know where to begin. What was the question?
I don't know. Just what's your thoughts, man? Like you've been out of it for a while,
right? Yeah. I unplugged all social media because I knew I was going to be late because I was at work. Unfortunately, I can't take off work at 8 a.m. today, sadly, but especially not before Christmas. But I was blown the fuck away. Okay. Again, I'm coming in hot, so watch out. But also, was it Darren? Hello, Darren.
Hello.
Like, I almost don't even know where to begin. First off, I don't understand what's going on with Twitter, or I don't even know if it's a Twitter problem. Maybe it's a social media problem. But I've skimmed some of the negativity, and I genuinely don't get it. Even more baffling. Like, James Gunn's Suicide Squad was like I thought was an extraordinary film. Yeah. It was like I think everything but the box office. If we just put that to the side, it was just a unanimous, universal success. Well, putting aside scary Snyder super fans as well, but I thought it was just fantastic. Almost perfect. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, this is what I needed. I didn't realize it was going to be such a full trailer. Didn't it say teaser? That did not strike me. That was not a teaser in my eyes, but I'll take it. That was just an official trailer. What are they talking about? But I thought it looked fantastic. It's got this. It appears to be like a warmer version of the cinematography from Suicide Squad, if that makes sense. It's really crisp, really tactile. I should stop, but it's I have a lot to say, as you can tell.
That's fair. I'm going to catch us up with the comments. Crypto was awesome. Very cute dog. I agree, Jeffrey. Yep, loved it. Derpy Entertainment says, Gunn is the right guy at DC, and I'm absolutely optimistic about him being in charge because he's one of us. He's nerdy and geeky. The man, spoiler, put in Big Belly Burger in this film. Cool. Literally just League Unlimited vibes with the world. I give big points for that. I've been saying that from the get-go. That you get me to feel like those late 90s, early 2000s animated series, and you're on the right path. Only someone who gets it would do that. The Lex gives me Smallville Lex vibes. Nicholas Hoult, that presence right there, I'm feeling him in that. This guy is not looking for real estate. This guy is looking to whoop ass. And he has his own agenda. And I love that vibe, if you will. In a good way, I think. Let's see what else. We have less Roman Superman, please. We have seen enough of it in others. In my opinion, I disagree, but that's just point of view, Luis. Because it's not here, people are going to hate it just because. I'm gonna say this before we go any further. The people who are watching and to the panelists, anybody else who might join down the pipeline, that I like Henry Cavill as Superman. It's a damn shame the stuff he went through. And I hope in the future, something can be done to remedy that. Yeah. But in the meantime, the Snyder Cut happened. It came out. I think that's as hopeful as I've seen a Zack Snyder film in the DC universe. And if we get more of it, cool. But I said goodbye and I said adios, amigo, with that movie. And not in a way to shove off, but I'm like, okay, let's see where the DC universe is beyond just Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. And folks, I'm telling y'all, with the vibe with this teaser, what we've been getting with Creature Commandos, this is the direction we're going. I think that more now than ever, the people who are making comics, who have written these characters, are seeing the vibe of what they were getting at. Even though they were just trying to make ends meet, what they were infusing these characters, these modern day mythologies. I'm sensing it with this, and it's okay to have different interpretations. And thankfully, James Gunn is someone who said we're gonna have the DCU and we're gonna have the DC Studios. You can play in either one you would like. We're setting up our road and building out a foundation in DC Studios. If you want to go wild, and I'm cool with it, go wild. So I think that I hope that if you were that committed to Henry Cavill Superman, I hope you were committed to Tyler Hoechlin Superman. And I hope you will be connected to or committed to David Corenswet Superman. At the very least, all I ask is go buy one ticket. I'm not saying you have to multiple. Just go buy one ticket and see it for yourself and check it out. If it's not your cup of tea, oh well. If it is, welcome in. If not, oh well, there's plenty more stuff to do. This is not the be-all, end-all of DC stuff. When I'm dead, they're going to be making more DC stuff. So don't worry about that. That's all I'm going to say about that aspect. But I want to just go and Darren, I gotta say, man, like we had just done a Creature Commandos stream, which you can go watch on the channel, Running and Change channel. Which subscribe, hit the like button. We talked about how you take these C-list, maybe B, D-list characters, and you infuse humanity and give them gravitas with that show. I never thought the first Green Lantern we were ever going to see past Ryan Reynolds' film is Guy fucking Gardner. And he's going to have that damn haircut from the comics that I love. And he was going to go, look at that. He's going to light up a Green Lantern ring. And in the background, oh, by the way, that's Hawkgirl. And oh, by the way, we got Mr. Terrific in there, dude. We got Hawkgirl flying.
Yeah.
Spoil of jewels of just, how are you guys feeling about this right now? Just seeing all that aspect, like, oh, by the way, this is a Superman movie, but if you're a fan, voila. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think like that was the aspect when we started getting a lot of news around this movie that I was most curious about, because I was like, okay, obviously it's a Superman movie, and I feel like that's been like one of the biggest attentions to, I guess, controversy, being like, oh, there's too many characters, oh, it's too bloated, blah blah blah, and I was always like, okay, let's just see what they got going on. Like, obviously, like, supporting characters are allowed to exist. All the Guardians movies had that. Suicide Squad had that. All movies have supporting characters, and I was very curious. And this trailer, to me, like, again, they had that focus on Clark Kent as Superman. He was the like center of everything. And I do think, again, like I was obviously like previously saying, I do think it's about the different aspects of his life and how they're going to support him. And I think we're going to be telling a story about, like, what does it mean to be a hero? I think there's going to be different types of heroes in this movie. And I think we're going to see what kind of a hero Clark is and what kind of maybe this other team is. But also it's so, I think we were talking about this in the last one, it's so satisfying to not necessarily have to start from scratch. I know there's a lot of different, opinions on this, but like, it is nice that we don't have to be like, well, we're just starting with one hero and then we'll build out over the course of 20 years. We're jumping to a world that's already established. And that is so exciting. Anyone can show up at any time at this point. And I think it works within this universe's narratives. Again, there's some of that, there is some concern with a couple characters that I know some people have a concern with. And I think that's really valid. But all these characters, some of them I don't even know that well. Like, I'm not an expert on Guy Gardner. I like him, but I don't, I'm not an expert, and I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to kind of be introduced and hopefully some new fan favorite characters. I think that's really cool.
Jor-El?
To be honest, like, super blunt, because I haven't had a lot of time to sit on this. I mean, the only flaw, if you can even call it that I had was the look of that whatever that Green Lantern person is. That was literally the only You can see it when I'm literally trying to upload my reaction as we speak, but you'll see it in my reaction. Like you can see me like be like, all right, but literally, it just looks so goofy. It's just something. And admittedly, DC Comics, I love DC Comics, and there's a lot of goofy looking ass sons of bitches, but it just looks silly. I don't know a better way to put it. It just made me like roll my eyes a little bit. I'm not coming from a place of hate or anything, because there's some wild looking people in the DC universe. Even more wild than Marvel, I would say. Maybe that's a hot take. But other than that, just the bowl cut, like what? Yeah. But other than that, I didn't have any issues, to be honest with you. At least not substantially. All these different characters. Well, but that's for God's sakes. If you're a person who loved BVS, if you're a person who loves the MCU, like too many characters, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Speaking of characters, I cannot wait, y'all, for Rachel to follow and Darren, correct me if I'm wrong, Elizabeth Tudyk, who did Superman Lois, to carry on the torch that she's been carrying since Superman Lois, and see her pun intended, fly the shoes with this one, because instantly I sense that like she's got the wit, the funk, the character, she's got the curiosity and the wonder of the DC universe. And just this one effing frame, y'all, I am feeling it. Again, I'm going to say it again. I am hearing the Superman animated series theme by Shirley right now in my head right now as I'm seeing all these graphics. Am I crazy? Am I blowing smoke out of my nose? Am I off by that regard?
No, absolutely not. Again, like I think Lois is one of the most important characters in DC. I think she's one of the most important fictional female characters of all time. I think in some regards she makes Superman. Like I think obviously like there's a lot of stories with that, but it's like I think she completes that character. And again, like I'm so excited to see her obviously I think thrive in this movie. There was like a Q&A I think over the last weekend or so, and she said that she was talking to like real reporters and being like, okay, like what does it take to like get the story? What does it take to get down to the need of it? And that, like from what I hear, all the cast of this movie seems to fundamentally understand their characters to a T, that I think is really, really cool. And again, I think she has the look. I think she has the like spunk. I think she has the we haven't even heard her speak yet, and I was like, oh yeah, that's Lois Lane. I see Lois Lane when I see this actress, so yeah. I cannot wait.
Jor-El?
Yeah, no, I think I'm blanking on what all she's been in prior to this. I know I've seen her around, but or whatever.
Maisel, whatever like that. I think that was a show.
Oh yeah. I know of it, never seen it, but no, she looks the part. I mean, James Gunn's casting is usually pretty great, so no real issues there. I'm just in shock, to be honest with you. Like, even just the little fleeting glimpses of their chemistry together. Yeah. I don't care how much this hurts people, okay? I fucks with Zack Snyder. I like him a whole bunch. I love Man of Steel. Unfortunately, I always thought the chemistry between Amy Adams and Henry Cavill was terrible, okay? Maybe not as bad in Man of Steel, but it was never like great or anything. It was never like, for some reason they gave like it felt forceful in a way. It's almost as if like you could tell like they don't really feel that way, but it's like we got to do this for the sake of the role, Maybe this is a bit much, but either way, it's looking hopeful, the chemistry between the two leads, and that part did not work in Zack Snyder's films for me. Even in Man of Steel, it's like what's really there. So I'm really excited to see how the romance is executed in the film. that's exciting because this time it looks like it's going to be more authentic or convincing. So that's really exciting because the I think it's 1978, the original Superman. But I love the chemistry between Reeves and that the actress, blank on her name. That was perfect. That was perfect. That's like, well, I mean, the original's like a 10. Man of Steel's like a 9 or something. Yeah, I'll probably give Man of Steel a 9. But yeah, very excited to see what she does.
Margot Kidder as Lois Lane from the original.
Mm-hmm.
I sense a little bit of that with Rachel. Let's follow up with some of the comments on here. Let's see. Technically, Creature Commandos has the specific scene in episode 4, has a specific character in the trailer as well. Concerning this teaser, if you haven't seen Creature Commandos, go watch this show. It's an amazing series. Like I said from the get-go, today is a fascinating day if you're a DC fan, and an even more intense day if you're a Superman fan. But yeah, if you want to hear our thoughts on that, go check out the Creature Commando stream that we had just done about an hour ago. We get into that vibe and how how Darren and I felt about that being shown to us. Let's see. No to mess now. Not a fan of the addition to crypto. Okay. It's on the newspaper. Who here reads DC Comics? I do. I am literally hunting down Grant Morrison's Animal Man and Garth Ennis's Hitman. Obscure characters for the general audience, but I'm trying to hunt down those books to take in some omnibus during the holidays. Let's see. Big Belly Burger will make an appearance. Only someone who cares like Gunn would be weird enough to have that. And again, I'm not familiar with Big Belly Burger, but this is the same guy who brought in a Starro, which I know who Starro was, but I was like, yo, he made the antagonist, quote unquote antagonist of that film, and gave even the antagonist, that kaiju, some humanity. Mm-hmm. Forget about it. Forget about it. Right. And again, if you're not into the crypto thing, fine. Imagine the character he's going to give crypto. Imagine what he's going to do with crypto in that regard.
What Superman fan doesn't love adorable crypto? For God's sakes.
Let's see. My concern about too many characters, the movie can only be but so long. How do they plan to adequately flesh out all these characters? They just have friend vibes. That's a valid concern. The only thing I would say is just look not at the tone and the vibe. Look what James has done in the past with a lead and the ensemble that surrounds them. The Guardians is a crew and it's a family, but I could make the argument that Rocket is the lead in Volume 3, and that's a Rocket movie, and yet he handles the crew behind him. He handles Quill missing Gamora. He handles Gamora in a new timeline. He handles Nebula, Mantis, Drax, Groot. It has been done, and I think that if you're following Peacemaker, if you're following the Suicide Squad, if you're following Creature Commandos, in my opinion, he hasn't lost his touch yet, and I can only imagine what he's gonna give. I forgot even to mention him. We got Metamorpho. Imagine what he's gonna give Metamorpho. Characteristics and whatnot. Again, I'm not saying that they're going to be full on roles and whatnot, but like they're chosen for a specific reason, and I can at least I'm pumped to see what that reason is and why they were chosen to be in this film.
I would also say it's not necessarily this film's job to completely flesh out all these characters. Like, I think this is kind of the starting ground for them. We're introducing them as supporting characters to Superman, and then obviously we already know that like Nathan Fillion's probably going to be in like the Lantern series. Hawkgirl, massive DC character. I bet we'll see her in many projects to come. Mr. Terrific, same thing. I would not be shocked if he got his own project or he's featured in other projects. Like these are characters we are going to see again. And I think we're just kind of setting the groundworks, showing that, okay, this is a larger world that we are living in. This isn't some isolated thing. And again, you could be 100% right, and we could come out and be like, oh yeah, they sucked. You know, they drained the thing, or, you know, like we didn't have enough time with them, and blah, blah, blah. But I think for right now, I don't think there's a reason to be too concerned.
Yeah. I think that's a great grounded response. In 7 months, we could be living in a completely different world, y'all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I will be first to say that. If it doesn't do good, wow, that's a shot to the kneecaps. I will happily say that. Like, if this doesn't work, what a shot to the kneecaps. But much like, and I can't believe I'm comparing this. I remember when the stars were lining up for Blade Runner 2049. Denis Villeneuve, Roger Deakins in the Blade Runner universe. They have to go out of the way to F that up. Like, they have to go out of the way to F that up. Am I wild for saying that, Jor-El? Am I too off of that mentality of like, the parts look like they fit? It's the same thing we talked about The Last of Us. The first trailer for that season 1 was like that. This looks like they can't miss. Now, people may not like it as a whole to compare it to the game and whatnot, but like, it's like it was that way. Like, no way they can drop the ball that hard.
Sure. I mean, it can always fail, of course, but I mean, at the same time, like it's James Gunn. I mean, he's well versed in telling multi-character stories, you know? So, I mean, it just seems, I think people are just nervous.
Yeah.
Which I guess fair enough, especially for Superman, because Superman is such a sacred thing that we really don't need to, you know, slug through a bunch of bullshit again. I love Henry Cavill, but for the love of God, he really like outside of Man of Steel, it's like to say things didn't exactly go according to plan is an understatement. So, you know, I think people are just like hypersensitive right now. So I kind of get it, but I mean, this is nothing new for James Gunn. With, you know, bunch of characters, big scale, you know. So I'm not terribly worried. It will be I was about to say, like, it'll be interesting seeing him work with these wacky characters, but the fuck, Guardians of the Galaxy, you know what I mean? So I'm not really too worried there.
Yeah. I don't know if it's been asked, but do you guys have a favorite moment that you're like one that you just kept going back and freeze framing, like, yo, this has been shot. It's in the editing bay, and it might be in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think I already mentioned it, but like, I think that moment when he does save that girl from all those pipes flying at her, like, that is, like, I don't know, like, it was weird because I said in my reaction, I was like, I kind of thought they were hot dogs at first. So no, they're just giant pipes that are flying towards. But I think that was such a fun Superman shot. I feel like we're going to kind of be looking back at that scene for a while. It kind of reminded me. I know I keep going back to Superman. I'm so sorry, but there's that moment in the first episode where, you know, he obviously picks up the car and he walks over to the kid and he's like, "Nice suit," and he's like, "Yeah, thanks. My mom made it for me." And I think there might be a similar thing to there where it's like, oh yeah, this is his moment where he gets to save the kid and get to show off, you know, who Superman is and his morals and who he is, and he's this inspiration for these kids to look up to, and like, obviously we have that scene with the flag also. So I think we're going to see like the inspiration of Superman. That's very exciting to me.
This is the moment, right, Darren? This is the one that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Looks so cool,
bro. That's going to be outrageous on the biggest IMAX that you can find.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I mean, this unbelievably, I only had a chance to watch it once so far, but I think that's probably like second favorite shot. That's a great one. But I think my favorite moment, honestly, is when Crypto has like his cape in his mouth and he sort of is dragging Superman home. You know, that kind of that really got me. Yeah, that really got me for sure. It was kind of like, you know, like seeing Josh Brolin's Thanos for the first time in Infinity War. It's just like it's like imagery I never thought I would honestly see on the big screen and like done well. Like it's incredibly surreal.
Yeah.
I also just really.
Go ahead, Darren.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I also just really liked getting to see Nicholas Hoult as Lex for the first time. Like, I think that was a really cool moment because very instantly, because back when, we were getting all the castings and like he was almost up for Superman, I was like, I don't really see him as Superman, but I see him as Lex Luthor. And a couple weeks later, he was announced to be Lex Luthor. I was like, oh man, yeah, I think he has it. And very instantly when he turns around, I'm like, oh, that's just Lex Luthor. Like, I saw it instantly. I feel like he's, immediately about to like embody that character. And I feel like over the last couple years, like there's been a lot of building up Lex Luthors. Like, obviously Smallville's greatest of all time. Michael Rosenbaum, you're never going to beat it, I don't think. But like, there's a lot of, okay, we have to build up to him being evil. And, it's all that build up. And Michael Kedless just did an amazing version of that character as well. But that was a very different take on the character. And then, you have your Jesse Eisenberg, which is a very controversial take. And, My Adventures is kind of building up to it as well. And so I like that we are just there to be like, no, he hates this guy. He despises this man, and we get to really play with that. And I love Lex the character so much because, and again, I heard like something that Nicholas Hoult was saying that I heard, where he's like in his mind he is trying to save the world. Like what he's doing, he thinks he is. He thinks he's, doing something to help save the world. And I think that's what Lex is at his core. He's a very jealous character. He's a very vengeful character. And he just, in his hatred, he's like, no, this is what the world needs. And I'm really excited to get to play in that. Like, and hopefully for many years to come. I hope this isn't just like a one-off, one movie deal. I want to see him slowly over the course of many years, like, kind of like live in that like hatred, which I think Nicholas is gonna kill it.
Yeah, with that sociopath like vibe, if you will, where like even when he sees people cheering for him, it's just like, no, I think people are brainwashed. They don't get it. They're accepting this man's lies, and it's to me, Clancy Brown. When I think of Lex Luthor, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is Clancy Brown from
Superman
the animated series and Drizzling Unlimited. Yeah, and like I love with the suit and all like that. I can't wait to see the first shot of them like standing toe to toe and just like, yo, this is real, man. What the fuck?
Oh my god! And the aspect ratio, I just loved. It just screams like like a splash page from any superhero comic book, where it takes up both pages, just one shot, one frame, it's so big. It's like a 1:90 or something like that. Aspect ratio is huge. The little black bars are like this small. Like I love that. It feels like a event, It feels like grand scale filmmaking. That's really exciting for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to me was the chanting Superman.
Yeah,
that y'all, I'm telling you, the I can't believe I'm quoting, but the force is with us, man. That I felt it, man. That felt like another track under the score with that Murphy guitar. Oh, I love it. Someone who I know was excited for this as well is Joypad Jake. What's up, Jake?
What's up? How you guys doing today?
Good.
Yo,
Jake, this is Jor-Els. Jor-Els, this is Jake.
What's up? How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, I had to come wearing the appropriate attire, so I got the shirt, I got the hat, I got the wristband. Good to go.
Hell yeah.
Jake, what's up? What do you think?
So, okay, I'll keep it real. I've said this in my reaction. I definitely like what I'm seeing. Little things here and there that I'm like, okay, I don't know if I like it yet. I need a little bit more to be completely won over, but I like what I'm seeing so far. So that's the that's the summary of it. And we'll go into more detail.
I'll take that. At this point, I'll take it. And again, for folks who are like, I know there's somebody else who another content creator who I admire that much, and he's a big super fan, and he was just like, I don't know, I don't want to believe this trailer and whatnot because for some regard, it's almost too good to be true.
Right.
And something else I know is too good to be true. I got Paul.
Hey,
Busy. What's up?
Yeah, I just finished my review. I was gonna head to bed. I was like, shit, let me hop in here for 10 minutes because I saw this shit was jam packed.
What up,
Busy? We
Busy?
still got that thing too, Busy.
Yeah, I was gonna hit you up, see if you're cool for tomorrow.
Yeah, I should be.
All right, good.
Well, we're not gonna just pack it up with this. We got Sam coming.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we're showing out right now. All right.
All right, we got full house in here.
Yes, sir.
So we were talking about the Powerpuff CW show that got canceled.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
It was actually that Yara Floor Wonder Girl show that never happened.
How about the Wonder Woman show that they had? That show was top tier, right?
Yeah.
God damn it, Busy.
Adrian Padalecki, man.
Busy.
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey? Wow.
Gotham Knights.
That's a pull.
Naomi.
Jeez.
Naomi.
Jake, do you have a favorite moment from the teaser? And then I'll ask Busy that as well.
So I got two.
Okay.
One is the bit where you see all that debris flying by him as he's shielding the girl. I really like that moment. And the moment where that is a clear homage to Death of Superman, where you see the kid holding the stick and you see the little Superman image, like floating or right there. That clear Death of Superman homage, and they even put that symbol on it, gave it the yellow background. Love those homage shots so much. Those,
you know what that reminded me of too?
Me.
Like with the episode that we got today of Creature Commandos, how we had a little moment with a little shot. I'm pretty sure it was like a similar flag that was torn up like that too.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, man, it gave it. Just reminded me of that.
Really, Ronan?
That was
I don't know
good.
what you're
Man,
talking
that was blink and you'll miss it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, that came out today though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, you're good.
He wasn't saying it.
Good.
I thought
Wait,
I was
what
like,
are you talking about?
Is that
What?
the Weasel
What?
episode?
No, I was kidding.
Yes.
Is this the Weasel?
Yeah.
Oh man, you know I was
man,
crying during
that
that
scared me. I thought I said something wrong.
I was
He
crying.
was
Vince got
quiet.
worried. He almost
Superman
saw himself.
dies? What?
That scared me, bro.
Wait, I didn't know Flash appeared.
That was bad.
Busy, do you have one? Do you have a favorite moment?
I know people were hating on crypto, but bro,
I thought
that
that was
really
awesome.
that
What
made
is
me-
going on with the
made me
hatred of
really happy,
crypto?
bro. I don't know.
It's a
I'm a
dog.
dog.
Yes,
But
he's so
realistically,
cute.
the thing is, when they announced crypto, I truly thought it was going to be more of a comedic type situation. I thought it was going to be maybe a 5-minute, type deal, But like to see him do such an impactful, this is a big deal,
Yeah.
Superman can't even stand up, and just hearing him whistle just got me really excited. I was like, this is so cool, bro. Like it just feels as though we're getting all these things that we should have gotten. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of DC is just, I feel like it's slept on a lot because we've gotten some amazing movies, but there was so much potential, and one thing that I think of is, the possibility of getting a Robin, a proper Robin, and then crypto and just getting all these different things that are really important to some of these character stories. And just knowing that he's doing this is just making me happy. And then every time we're getting a lot of hate, but realistically it's like, bro, like y'all are just trying to hate at this point.
Yeah.
This shit was good. Like, stop fucking crying, bro. This shit was good.
And it's really promising too, because if you think about it, we have not had a universally loved Superman movie since 1981. It's been that long. So if we can actually all, as a collective, if this can bring everybody on the same wavelength again to where they're, on that same kind of opinion about a theatrical Superman, because everybody has, their opinions about the ones in the past, and, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but you haven't had the general, like a large, massive general public be this, be that invested in Superman since the 80s. And it would be really nice if we're able to kind of get back to that again.
But also, it's been 14 years since we've had a Superman movie period. Like it's been out of like the main public eye for so many years. And
because Man of Steel was 2013, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just interesting times though, because like when you come off of like shows like Superman and Lois and My Adventures of Superman, they've done so good for the character that we haven't had him at this level in such a long time. And some people, if you haven't seen those shows, they're top tier. And like they represent the different levels and aspects of Superman. Even if you look at like Superman and Lois, like we've never seen a Superman like that. And I think it's just a great time for this transition to give Superman his due. Only thing we need now is a Superman game, which I'm still waiting for that. Give me that.
We've been hearing rumors thrown on the internet for years, but you know what? The best Superman game is Lego Batman 2.
There
what
is
about
like
Nintendo 64?
I was thinking 64 too.
I try to forget that one exists.
It's been 11 years since Man of Steel. That is wild. And again, Tyler, Elizabeth, they have been carrying the torch since then.
Yep.
I can't imagine the fucking book. It's just, this feels right, y'all. That's the best feeling you can think of right now. That it may not hit all the way, but you're on ecstasy right now. They're like, yo, the shots, the score, the choices they made for the season. And I remember hearing that like James went over and over this trailer saying, I don't want to just put out a teaser for the sake of promoting the movie. We need a teaser to tell you this is what we're gonna do with the movie. And people have been hyping up this trailer, and it's just like we can't let them down. And I love that aspect that he gave. Yeah.
I want to see if we can actually get a Superman on the big screen, like in the modern day, that is somewhat reminiscent of this little guy right here. I want to see if we can get something
that's one of the best Superman ever.
Amen.
For sure.
Amen.
Also, I want to bring this up because I feel like when I heard this, I don't know how the movie's going to be, but I think they got it. They got Superman out of the way. I remember hearing when David said it was about the trunks. It was about trunks and no trunks. People were like moaning, crying. And even James Gunn was like, I don't know if we're going to do the trunks and whatnot. Like, people might feel it's too campy, too bright and whatnot. And the fact that David himself said that, like, no, let's do the trunks. Like, that's the point of being bright. I have all these powers. He has all these powers that people could consider him dangerous. The last thing he wants to do is scare the kids. Last thing he wants to do is make them feel threatened. So if I look like a damn wrestler, if I look that cool one, not like, so be it, if you will. Like, I hearing that, I was like, there's Clark. That's
the whole thing of Superman. It's like he wants to have the trust of the people that he's saving. And when it was talking about that bits of the design in the trunks, if you want to pull back that image up again, where you see like the close up of him in front of the crowd, if you want to pull that up, I just want to point something out. And this is something I brought up too. The only issue that I've had with the design of the suit so far, and this may just be a me thing, apart from the new 52 style collar, which I've never really been a fan of, the lined blue pattern inside the suit is the only thing that's really holding it back for me. I'm just not a fan of that. I would have preferred it if they would have either went in the direction of kind of like a grid pattern on the suits like you saw on Tyler, or just a plain vibrant blue, kind of like you saw on Brandon's, Crisis Kingdom Come suit, if they would have went for, straight in either one of those directions. And I said that I appreciated that they combined, all these different aspects of various designs from different eras, but the collar and more so the line pattern in the blue are like the only things that are holding the suit back for me.
Did you guys already talk about the flinch?
About the what?
So right after that guy throws something at Superman in the back of his head,
he flinched.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people had like beef about that. I don't know if it's that serious, but I wasn't sure if you guys had any.
I saw the.
Yeah, so basically, when somebody throws it at him, like he kind of like looks like that. But to me, I took it as it's not like it hurt him or irritated him. It was more so like
he's bummed out. He's like
just emotional, emotional pain.
Correct.
Yeah,
like a character, y'all. Holy shit! A character has feelings.
Yeah, no, I wasn't bothered by it.
First I've heard of it.
Yeah, because I saw a lot of people on Twitter just bitching about it, and I'm like, dog, like what are we doing?
I mean, it's Twitter; they'll bitch about anything.
So I'm gonna ask y'all a real triggering question. Even if this movie is freaking gas, right? And I've noticed this. I've noticed some great movies be still dogged out. Are people gonna actually really be satisfied? Like we're in an age that everybody is a critic. That everybody has something to be overly critical about, and everybody wants to regurgitate like negativity because they just want to watch that way, even if they don't really believe it. Like I'm worried that even if this movie is good, like or great, like people are just gonna find something to, and it's just exhausting. Like it's hard in an environment with superhero movies or shows, more so movies, where you just want to enjoy it. And I don't know if it's even possible anymore.
Just turn off the social media. Turn it off.
Before I go, because I am going to bounce in a second, I do want to say that that's a good question, because it's like we get a lot of things now, a lot of movies nowadays, and no, I know this is the start of the universe, so maybe that's why we're all really excited. But realistically, nowadays, with whether it's Marvel or Star Wars, I feel like there are a couple movies that we're really excited for, but then they'll drop other things, and it's like people are excited for the meat and potatoes, but they're not excited for what's going to build up to that. So we got a show, and people are like, "Oh yeah, this is cool. This will hold me off." But there's no real hype, no real excitement that there is, say, for something like this. Whereas we would get like, say, Star Wars shows, and people are just like, "All right, this is cool, but we just want something massive. We're waiting for something big." And I really hope that with this universe, like every individual project can bring the same level of hype, because I kind of I miss this feeling. I mean. I haven't been this excited for like superhero content in quite some time, and it's really cool that not only was I excited for it, but the trailer just really delivered something extremely special. Like it was magical in a sense, because like I haven't felt this way towards Superman since I was a kid, and Superman and Lois really did a really good job like delivering a great Superman, but obviously they had restrictions. But to see something like this being transported into live action, like on a big silver screen, like this is not just a Superman film, like this is a fleshed out universe where we're already introducing things that like Hawkgirl or a Green Lantern, like we're diving into a universe that's already set, like we're not building up to something crazy. We are already in a well-established universe. So to dive into something like this where they're going to throw a lot at us. And I'm really, really looking forward to something that's already built, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, we already have an idea of how it's going to get there. We don't necessarily need to see all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. I feel like, and I'll double down on this, Sam, on people being satisfied. I feel a similar way with the Fantastic Four. I'm like, out of what I've seen, there's no way they can drop that ball that hard.
Oof.
But having said that, I know. But having said that, I'm like, right now, it feels right, and I feel that like a good thing that I think strategically worked in their favor is that right now they're having a show that nobody knows too much about these characters, and setting these breadcrumbs here and there about their world, setting up. Yeah. Okay, people are mentioning the mascara. Okay, they're mentioning this. They're mentioning stuff that I can't talk about yet, and it's with this and what they have planned out for. That I'm like, just get the characters and the tone right. The movie as a whole may not be the best thing ever made it, but like just get that right, and we'll be with you. People will follow eventually, and I would not be surprised if the echoes of people shouting Superman in the trailer will follow in the coming months soon. In my opinion, even if the film isn't 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, even if a bunch of critics didn't like it all the way, call me romantic, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
I just realized something. Right. That James Gunn is the creator of Creature Commandos, and so this episode that actually had a certain person, it's the perfect timing.
It's really
intentionally planned that joint. That's crazy.
Right now, our friend Busy Brown has to head out. He's got busy stuff to do. Busy, thank you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by. Plug yourself, man. Where can people find you?
On Team JVS. You guys have a great one.
Bye.
And on Ronan's channel. Peace out.
There it is.
I'll see you tomorrow, man.
Peace out, guys.
Oh, you look good.
Confetti back there. Nice.
I know, it's like confetti. But what about you? What about y'all, Darren, Jor-El? Do you guys think about the potential of it, quote unquote, not hitting on all strides with audiences?
I mean, look. There was always going to be haters. That's kind of unavoidable. But I genuinely think this is mostly a social media problem. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, if it was opening weekend and you just simply turned off the social media or just avoided negative comments, I think your viewpoint would be so drastically different. I mean, there may be some people who like legitimately, like critically or general audience wise, maybe there could be some issues or something. Maybe it gets an A- on Cinema Score or something. But I feel like the brunt of what Sam is describing is like film Twitter and things equivalent to that.
Right.
And I think if you just look away from it, it'll just be fine. Like, I feel like general audiences, they have no sense of what we're talking about. I feel like general audiences, when they see this trailer in front of whatever, Wicked or whatever, Nosferatu, whatever is coming out soon, I feel like that's not even going to be a thing. I think people are just going to be like, oh my God, there's this huge-looking Superman film coming that looks great. It's from a director whose stuff I know, and I can't wait to see that. Like, for real. I think that's going to be like 85-95% of most general audiences. I mean, look at the response online. It's insane. Like to the poster. Yeah. I think that one, somebody was saying that might be the most liked movie poster on Twitter or up there. And I was just like, damn, I never even thought about it that way, you know? The love,
like, wait, people on Twitter like things? No, I'm kidding.
But it's like the love is real for sure. I wouldn't even be too worried about it, to be honest with you. What you should be worried about is, are you engaging with film Twitter that weekend?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like with us being, critics, and also some of us being influencers, we get the best and the worst of both worlds. Yeah. We get it in our comment sections. We get it within our streams that we have to go into. We get it from people's perceptions. Because I think that my head goes, we get to watch the movie before it comes out. No matter what, everybody here will end up watching this film before the general audiences, right? Some people that are our colleagues or people that we work with, they'll have their own perspective and they will make it very vocally known on Twitter. And then what will happen is a chain of events, which unfortunately happens. Rotten Tomatoes score. What is it? What is it going to be?
Yeah.
And whoever contributes to that, whatever amount of time that happens, if it isn't certified, then people start to get scared. And then the general audiences, what they'll either do is they'll be like, all right, I'll wait till for next week, right. Or they'll be like, oh, I don't know, and that just is commonly happened. Even if my mother was like, hey, Sam, what do you think about this Superman film? Was this good? Because I saw on, the Rotten Tomatoes score, it was a little low. Like, is it worth me going out there? I'll see it next week, but not this week because something else is going on. And I'm like, no, you're good. You're good. It's fine. But unfortunately, that's what a lot of people go off of. Even our TVs have Rotten Tomatoes scores on movies. So that's normally that's kind of like the trend. But you're right, Jor-El. Like general audiences, like they look at the trailers when they go to the movies or they see a random commercial. Like, I'm intrigued by this. But what will happen is us collectively and the people that we associate with, kind of present a narrative and what that actually looks like and the perception of it. Same thing happened years ago when Man of Steel came out. I remember being in that theater and like, dang, I've been waiting for this all my life. I came out of theater, outside of Chris Stuckman every other critic was like, no, this was not it. This was not my Superman. And I was confused. I was like, wait, what? No, don't tell everybody this. Let them have it for their own self, But that's what happened, And so that's the only reason why I bring it up, because
it's funny that one's gotten it's gotten a cult-like following over the last 11 years. You look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, it wasn't that way. It's in the 50s, I'm pretty sure. Just going off memory. Sorry, Darren, I think I cut you off.
No, that's okay. And I think my concern is I just don't know how the general audience feels about Superman, because I said at the front, I don't think people know who he is really. The biggest influence has been Man of Steel, which is obviously fine. That was the take on the character, but I do feel like it was a very different take on the character, and that was many years ago. There hasn't been anything for 10 plus years, and I feel like when this movie comes out, and again, I hate to be that guy, July is a really, really busy month. There are a lot of big movies. We have Jurassic World, we have Fantastic Four, we have Superman, we have Smurfs. So your general audience might come up here and be like, hey, 2 superhero movies this weekend and a movie about dinosaurs. Which one am I going to take my kids to? The one about dinosaurs, which people love. The one that's a already successful kind of cinematic universe that people already love. Or a new character, to them might be a new character or a new franchise that people don't trust as well. That is my main concern. And I feel like everyone kind of has that. I think even James Gunn, I feel like he's feeling it. But yeah, he seems stressed. He seems very and I think they're going to give it their all though. The marketing this week is better. Some of the best marketing I've ever seen in my life. They had the poster, and then 2 days later they had a teaser for the teaser, and then today, like I've said over and over again, this was an event. This is a feeling I haven't felt in a very, very long time. I don't know if I've ever felt this way for a teaser trailer.
You don't typically get waiting rooms for this stuff.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the 3 months. What is it? What, by March? March, April? Yeah, April, May, June, July? Those months leading up to it. I don't know what he's going to cook up, because again, I think they know they need to market this thing hard. They need to, and again, I really want a scenario where both Fantastic Four and Superman can both do well at the same time. That's such a cool feeling. I don't want this to be a Coke versus Pepsi, Marvel versus DC. Oh, who's going to win? Which one?
Have it be another Barbenheimer thing.
That would be I would
ecstasy.
Bliss. I think it's going to be God, what's been the big 3? I'm missing the third one. It's been Wicked, Gladiator 2, and
1 and 2.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I think it's going to be very similar vibe to that, except on steroids. I think Superman should at least make between 800 mil worldwide to $1 billion. Fantastic Four, I can't tell, but that Jurassic movie is going to be a nuclear bomb went off or something. I can't really read Fantastic Four. I'm not expecting it to flop, but I think people got it backwards, because with Marvel it's we have a sense of what to expect. With this is just so loud. It's so vivid. It's just so different. It's something that we all know, regardless if you didn't like Henry's take or not. So I think it's going to be a success story all around. I don't know why I'm confused why people are imagining this sort of it's people are not thinking clearly, but the box office is going to explode.
Oh yeah.
I think all 3 films should do fine, but people who are expecting Superman to flop, I have extremely bad news for you.
Yeah. I am going to be curious, because I do think there's again, we're so far away from the movie, we know nothing, but I do think there's a scenario where they could, if Fantastic Four does have a Robert Downey to set up, he is Dr. Doom in that movie. So if Downey is in Fantastic Four, I think that's a whole nother story. Like, I think that's going to do so much better than we, if they somehow leak it out, or there's a teaser that says something, something like that. But no, I mean, again, I like, this is just my like negative, like paranoid brain being like, oh no, I don't want it to fail. But
that would probably be a Black Adam thing all over again, where he's just at the end and then they leak it out to get people to see it.
Yeah, I could see that. But again, I hope they all do well. I mean, I hope Smurf does well. I want everything to do well. I love when movies succeed. I think that's good for everybody.
Oh yeah, by the way, can I just say something real quick about the Suicide Squad thing? Because this is driving me fucking insane, okay? For the love of God, people, wake up. It was 2021. It's this giant rated R film. COVID broke out substantially in the US. The year prior, people stop. Because there's going to be people who are going to be like, well, look what happened with Suicide Squad. It's like, shut. I'm going to strangle you, okay? Stop it, okay? Totally different context.
Yeah.
Lord.
Right.
I think if Suicide Squad came out at a time where there wasn't, like, it was a pandemic. I know that's a whole meme now, but it's like, it did come out, like, mid-pandemic. Half of it was, on Max, or like, HBO Max, so you had the, like, that was...
Yeah. That's what didn't help it, is that it was on streaming so quickly.
Right.
But I want to get back to your point, Darren, where you were saying that, the kind of the whole concept of who Superman is like just kind of being thrown into question more, and like people aren't really sure about it. I think a large part of that is because like one of the better portrayals that we've gotten, which was Superman and Lois, a lot of people saw it, so they didn't have that kind of rejuvenation of that character and kind of that what's the word? I guess shift in perspective, because a lot of people who have a perception of Superman either have solely Cavill's portrayal to go off of, the Injustice games, which depicted Superman as villainous, those didn't help matters, and then like even some movies that came out where you had Superman figures who were presented as evil, like whether we're talking about Invincible or Brightburn or The Boys, or I could go on. And I think one of the best things that Superman and Lois did is it turned people that have not been fans of that that character in that world since Smallville, and got them into fans of the character again. So I think if they can do that to people that are like in their 40s and up, then if you get the right people that know what they're doing here, just like you did with that series, then you have the potential for something great. And I hate that word, potential. I hate that word so much, but you have the makings of something good if you have the right people behind it, and I think we have the right people behind it.
I agree. Jor-Els, to share your sentiments. Look at that. Look at that.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Look at this baby. Look at the baby. Look at that.
Hey, that's a nice Dirty Dozen poster you got there.
I know, right? I know Dirty Dozen. Yeah. I agree. I think that, man, it just watch the pre-orders. When the tickets go on sale for pre-orders, watch them crash the websites again. Like Avengers.
Like
yes.
No Way Home.
Yes.
Because one thing I don't think people are hating. One thing that I don't think that they're understanding is that you're gonna be there too.
Right. Like they're acting like they're not.
Right. Like, get real, guys.
It's like no matter how much they crap on it, they're still gonna feed them their money.
Did y'all talk about who is the villain in this? Because I don't know what they're fighting, and I love that about it.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like I saw this blob dragon, saw Lex. I think I saw Parasite. I could be wrong. I don't know what or who that was. It was kind of this disfigured alien-looking creature.
Oh, that's Metamorpho.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yo,
Yep.
is that my
Carrigan.
man from Gotham?
Yeah, Anthony Carrigan.
Yeah, no,
Barry. Yeah.
no, from Barry. Yeah.
Whenever I saw that casting, I was like, "That is perfect."
Yeah, he's so good.
So I'm just curious. We got any takers on what is going on? What knocked him down? Because when there was one scene, and I didn't want to bring it up when I was here earlier, that Superman like literally power bombed somebody into the ground, and he was holding them by his sternum. And I was like, who is that big that he could do that? And I was debating it could have been a Kryptonian, because the fact is he was getting pushed back and the person he was holding him and they were flying. So I was curious, like, could that be one of the villains? I just don't know who.
I've heard people say like Overman is, like that's been kind of in the talks. Again, I've been trying to avoid the leaks and all of these things, but people talk, people say it. But I do think Lex will, like, even if there are other threats within the movie, other things come up, I do think Lex will be the main antagonist of the movie. Like, okay. I think the like crusts of the story and like the main conflict with Clark, I think will all kind of tie back into him.
I agree.
This was a prediction I made a while ago, before we knew more about the movie. I doubt this is going to end up happening now with everything that we have learned since, but I think it'd still be cool, is that, when you're introducing all these other characters along with Superman, your Metamorpho, your Hawkgirl, your Green Lantern, all these guys, what sort of threat could you bring together where you have to have Superman working with all of them, and that could be a threat against them? And that got me thinking, if Lex is, like the brains behind this whole thing, not necessarily the main physical force, but that would leave the slot for the main physical force villain. You could have it be a Mazo in that sense. And he could bring that robot to where he's able to, combat all of those different, different heroes. And then they have to learn to work together and adapt. And that's when Superman maybe gets used to working with other heroes, which I'm assuming prior to this he hasn't done before. So it could be a unique way to go about it.
I also think there's going to be a more like not physical like threat to the movie, but I do think very similar to like a like Supergirl season 4. I know that's a weird reference, but like where it's like the villain was like society, and like we have that scene when like they throw the thing at Clark, and I think there's going to be a big conflict of the movie of like the people not trusting Clark, the people not, he's an immigrant, he's this alien, he doesn't belong here. I think there's going to be a fear mongering through Lex being like, no, he doesn't belong here, he's a threat. And then you also have the like Max Lord and all these heroes, and I think there's going to be a story about like corruption and like what does it mean to be a hero. I think there's going to be conflict there. There's going to be like a conflict of interest, I think, with Clark being a reporter and also Superman, and like how does he balance all these pieces of his life.
Right. And this is modern McCarthy. I don't know if they would do this, but they could kind of take a page out of maybe the Incredibles book and do from that whole route of and again, I'm only kind of half quoting this because it could be done very badly, but if they go through that whole angle of, what gives you the right to, save us? What if we don't want your help? Things like that. They could work that angle in there, especially with a character like Superman, and it could go over really well if they write it properly.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that you brought the angle of the reporters, because something that we haven't talked about, but it was showcased in the teaser for the teaser trailer, which is the Daily Planet. You see the bullpen, you see that place with the characters, and you see the usual suspects. You see Jimmy Olsen right there in the back.
So
and I'm like,
oh, do we? Where is it? Oh, that's him?
So
that's him right there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well,
I forgot about that actor. All right.
That's another angle that I can't wait to see of how they perceive the Daily Planet in the DCU.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I know maybe you guys already touched upon this. Again, I only had a chance to watch it once. There's a moment, because I'm uploading right now, but there's a moment where I noticed on TV screen that Supergirl was there. Did you guys see that?
I've seen that, and I almost don't want to believe it because
what are you talking about?
I don't think she was in a suit. I don't think she was in a suit, but she was there though.
Wait, what?
Yes.
On the TV screen. Yeah, is it the TV screen the little boy was on?
You from too?
It was inside the Daily Planet.
Oh wait a minute! No! I don't think it's Supergirl. Is it this one?
No, it's inside the Daily Planet. It's like.
Are you sure you're not talking about Eve Tessmacher? Because she's in one of those shots, I think.
No, I swear to God, it was I don't know the actress's name. It starts with an M.
Millie Alcock.
Yeah. I'm telling you. I can't give you a timestamp because I was, just shuffling through.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I wish I had a timestamp, but someone in the comments must have seen what I'm talking about. 100%.
Shout out to Mr. Terrific. Oh
yeah. Oh, that design looks great.
Yeah.
And him being attacked and whatnot with.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if that's her. I got it. It's at the 43-second mark.
Someone scrubbed through.
43-second mark, Ronan.
Okay, let me see. I can pull it up.
Wait, Darren, what did you just put in here?
Once you're done with that look, there's a new kind of look at David Corenswet as Superman that they just put out.
Ooh.
I just shared it in a private.
Oh, that's cool.
It is very cool. I thought that'd be fun.
Yeah, the paper and everything. Yeah.
I'll pull it up for you.
Okay.
I got it.
You said it was the 43-second mark?
Yeah, here you go.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see this. I'm about to feel like such a moron.
Is this who you're talking about, Drill?
No.
I was about to say that's Lois.
No. Oh wait, is it?
Oh, her?
Is that?
I think so. I would need it to be moving to be sure though, because again, I didn't get a timestamp. I just saw it for a second. I was like, oh shit, I recognize
somebody sent a message to James Gunn on Threads like, yo, is that Millie?
See, y'all about to make me scrub to the trailer because I'm a face person. I swear to God.
Okay, hold up. I'm gonna take a photo of it in Google and see whose name pops up.
I swear.
Google Lens, it'll save us.
Yeah.
If I end up finding this out for like the first time here, this is gonna be insane.
Can you zoom in again, Ronan, or whoever has it?
Yeah, I'll zoom in. There you go.
I'm about to just straight up play the trailer in the background. Hold on a second.
This is priceless.
Yeah, because the thing about it, even in the news report, you can't see what's underneath the writing for her, like at all.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to scroll through it slowly.
The only thing I can make out, and I'm blind as hell, so I'm surprised I can even see this. The word on the bottom left, I think that says newsroom. That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah,
I don't think that's Millie, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll
talk to James. I'll talk to James.
Oh yeah.
I'm playing it in the background.
Yeah, Ronald, we know you have an insider scoop.
Yeah, I'll get him. Whoa! Is this an exclusive? Is this an exclusive?
That's
not true.
I don't know, Chainsaw. I don't know. I think that's just a theory, man. That's DC theory stuff right there. I don't know.
I could be wrong. But I was like,
I'll hit him up. I'll hit up James.
Yeah. I'll hit him up on the cell. He's a fellow Missourian. I'll hit him.
I thought it was Homelander.
Now everyone's gonna be angry at me. Goodness.
Oh no, we triggered the whole fan base.
Sam, is there a way?
I mean, is this a decent conspiracy theory? Because I mean, damn,
that's not a far reach. I would think. Yeah, look at that. Look at this, guys. Look at this.
Yeah, it's great.
Look at this.
Now he misses the phone booth.
And then Lewis. Boom. I love that.
I really love.
I
can't believe we haven't brought it up yet, but I do love how different they look. Like they've made them look like two different people, and I do think that's really fun.
Yeah.
And then that right there is from that initial image that we saw, right?
Yeah. What the heck is that thing?
I still don't know what that is.
Since the beginning,
I still don't know what that is.
I don't have no idea.
It's like a fun guy, like something from like Last of Us or something.
Isn't it? I remember there being a thing in DC that's described with this. I'm probably going to get the name wrong. It's like Solaris or something like that. Like I think that's the name. I might be wrong, but it's like a giant orange ball of energy. I know that looks a little bit more purple back there, but they could be doing that because I remember reading that after I saw that image. I was like, "Is that what it is?" I don't know if I got the name right on that at all.
Listen, it's exciting. We don't know what it means.
I do think it's kind of funny because like when that poster dropped, and like I actually still like that poster, but like everyone's like, he doesn't have time to change his shoes or whatever. And in this shot, he's just having a full on conversation with Lois. I think they kiss in that later shot. And it's like, oh yeah, he's taking his way good old time, whatever that thing is.
Okay, Ronan, I just sent you the image of that thing from the comics. It is called Solaris. I don't know if that's what this is supposed to be.
I'm seeing it. Yeah.
If you're gonna show that to the rest of them, I don't know if that's supposed to be it or not.
Yeah. By the way, I butchered the quote, but no one knows what it means. But it's provocative. if you know that reference, shout out to you.
Oh my! Yeah, I'm not acknowledging that reference.
Let's see.
I
wouldn't put it past James pulling Solaris because he goes for the deep cuts, man. Like, again, because I'm a nerd, I knew who, and I said Starro was, and the fact that he pulled that out, I'm like, I never in a million years we would have gone Starro in another iteration, if you will, of a DC film, and so here. So apparently,
I don't know.
Apparently, it's this. Yeah, so they think so. People are saying that also the Authority might be a play in this because they're another element of superheroes that are very they're not afraid to go and do stuff in the gray areas and whatnot. Yeah, so apparently this is supposed to be that pink, purplish thing in the sky. Duking it out. Why not?
That's just a guess.
Yeah.
Good guess.
Yeah.
I could be very wrong.
But that's what's fun, man. Like,
did you guys see this as well? Let me see. Let me throw it in the chat. This was almost just as good as the trailer for me. My God.
What do we got here? Pulling it up.
His Clark Kent seems so perfect, bro.
Oh yeah, Sam, you think you could share that? Yeah.
I didn't see this.
Oh my God, dude, it's so perfect.
I just mind watching Superman for a second.
Sorry, watching who? Who are you supposed to be watching?
I would have loved if there was like a tiny frame skip to show that he left and came back.
Hey, do you guys mind watching Superman for a second?
He has such a deep voice. It's gonna get some like getting used to. It's like, oh my gosh, it's
right.
Those little quirks are just so interesting because the awkward person, it seems natural. It seems like somebody just naturally awkward.
And then that graphic that you put in the private chat where he's like walking and then he's like stumbling with the paper, it's like that's Clark.
Yeah,
right. It definitely is. No, that's dope.
Yeah, that was one thing that I don't know if Zach super nailed, like the difference between Clark Kent and Superman. Like I don't know. I feel like I'd be like, my nigga, are you Superman? You know what I'm saying? But with this one, I'm like, oh damn, like that genuinely, they do seem like separate people so far.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's the one thing that like I go back and I'm like, I can't tell the difference here and whatnot. Like it's too similar and whatnot. Like
it's so weird. I can't really put my finger on it because even if you look at this shot right here of them two versus this shot right here, that does not seem like the same dude.
No,
like maybe his brother or something like that. It doesn't.
I'd be like, wait a minute. Yeah, just.
Like he's just randomly just looking back, like, what's going on? Like, he's like, I'm trying to type, like, what's going on back there?
Yeah.
Do we think they're gonna keep the secret identity thing for a while, or is that going out the door in the first movie?
I think
they already said that, didn't they?
They said James Gunn said that Lois already knows about him being Superman, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think the world is not going to know.
And then there was a lot of focus on those two in this trailer, like the interactions between those two. They focused on that a lot.
Yeah. I'm gonna be curious about Lex though. Like, is Lex gonna find out this movie? I kind of hope he doesn't. Like, I kind of hope they wait maybe for a sequel or Justice League, or I don't know, something.
Or maybe not at all, because I mean, what makes Lex such a compelling villain? He hates Superman. He doesn't give a shit who Clark Kent is. He just hates Superman.
Right.
True.
That would be a good thing for towards a big moment. Be like, oh, I was right there under your nose the whole time, and you couldn't even tell.
Mm-hmm.
That's how egoistic you are. What are you gonna say, Sam?
No, I was gonna say, Jarrell, do you remember the movie Identity with John Cusack?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You remember?
Oh yeah.
Serial killer. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah, people were upset about that too. At least on Twitter. But yeah, that's an intrigue. Well, it is kind of interesting that for once, I guess we'll have a very realistic take on the grandparents. So that's intriguing. Ooh, maybe slight hot take, but like, how do you feel if could we be seeing a Superman that's a way better actor than Henry Cavill? I mean, it's something to think about. Just saying. I love Henry.
I'll say is that when Christopher Reeve was, casted, Christopher Reeve was one of the best actors, period. Yeah. At that time. And it was kind of like a lot of people looked at it like, that's such a step down for him. Why would he do something so stupid? Right? Yeah. And so
that's exactly how George Reeves felt when he took the role.
Right. So it could be. I mean, but I think the thing is, like, for people to really connect nowadays, like, you have to connect on a human level, and it takes that level of effort and skill to be able to make that true balance for people to be able to believe it. And so I think it's just something that's an evolution of progress. Like, it's required at this point. Yeah. It's a need more so than as a want.
Because we're sort of talking about like, wow, like there's such a difference between like his Clark and his Superman, and it's like maybe a lot of that's because he has more depth emotionally on screen, at least especially as Superman. Anyway,
to play devil's advocate, and again, I'm not the biggest like Snyder guy, or but like I definitely think they were trying to go for like kind of what we saw at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, where it's like, oh, retroactively, this is the character that got there. We were just taking it, like we were taking the like long way around. Right. They unfortunately did not get the chance to get there. Obviously, there's a lot of things that wasn't in Henry Cavill's. I just don't think was his fault. Like there's a lot of studio stuff that just didn't get there. And like I do think if we would have seen the like retroactive full story that they wanted to tell with him, I do feel like we would feel a lot different towards the Superman, if that's a good thing or that's a bad thing. We just didn't see it, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, in which, kind of, and we didn't get to necessarily see the full story with this one either, but we got to see a little bit more of the stretch when you get to somebody like Tyler Hoechlin. You see a little bit more of his arc and how it progresses through. Even though like there was that jump at the end, there was more exploration of his character at his roots and his core.
Right.
And not saying that I'm not saying Henry didn't get that, but he didn't get enough of it. And that, again, was not his fault.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm going to start wrapping things up, but I think I'll say this about the whole David and Henry. I think it goes down with the material given and the collaborators that you're lined up with and what your vision is for the story. I feel like James is telling us that like, hey man, I'm mad at the world, but I'm not giving up without a fight. Like that we can be better. We must strive to be better and whatnot. Like there was a time where we wanted to be better as people, as a species. And the fact that it's going to take an immigrant alien to lead us away and take the beating of humanity in one way or another to show us that like it's I'm going to quote Rocky, man, it's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. It's how much you can take, and that's how winning is done. And I feel that's the mantra. Hell, I wouldn't be shocked if David been listening to that thing the whole time while he was working out and be like, that's who Clark is, that's who Superman is. Like, keep going no matter who gets thrown at you in the world and whatnot. Even allies, I can't wait to see the interactions of their point of views between GL, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific and Metamorpho, and then with Superman. How the press might play a hand in the perspective in this story of where we see the press in the world. So again, it goes down with the material and what you're willing to say in this world, and how you can tell simple stories or simple message in an epic like this. And just a lasting note, I remember James saying that we also took some inspiration from Top Gun Maverick. Seeing the music with his guitar, it felt a little Top Gun Maverick at the beginning. You know, with the guitar, and like I was just waiting for David, instead of a motorcycle, just to ride a bicycle and like do the whole thing, whatever and whatnot. And like I felt a little bit of that vibe as well. Yeah.
And you know, I'll throw a Superman quote out here too. You know, from if any of you guys watch Superman vs. the Elite, that whole thing where he's like, you know, dreams lift us up and transform us into something better. It's like, hopefully that can kind of happen as we're moving into this new age of DC content. And like hopefully people can get a reinvigorated understanding of Superman.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said this before, but I was very fortunate to meet George Perez. Those who don't know, George Perez is a pivotal pillar in comic books history, creator. Almost most of the famous stuff he had a hand on revitalizing at one point. And at one point we were talking about Superman, and I asked him about his thoughts on Superman. He said Superman is someone, and I'm paraphrasing, but at one point he said that like Superman is somebody who has the power and will to be Earth's ruler and decides to be Earth's servant. And I remember hearing that, I'm like, yeah, that's the way to go with Kal-El. And that's the way it's gonna go with this stream, y'all. I'm wrapping it up. This was a blast to do. I don't know how it's gonna work out because I know people schedule stuff, but we all knew that today was a very seminal day if you're a DC fan, and we had to get our 2 cents out in one way or another. And first, I want to thank everybody who bothered stopping by, who stuck out from the beginning of this stream and want to share their 2 cents about it. Muchas gracias for doing that. And also to my panelists down here in the bottom. I think we could say that the future is not written yet, but right now it looks bright and shiny all the way, in my opinion. Muchachos, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for joining me with this. It really meant a lot. Let's go down the line. I want everybody to give their final thoughts on today, on this teaser. Anything you got to say about DC Comics, and I want you to plug yourself as well. So we'll start with Darren.
I mean, with this 2-minute teaser, like I'm in. Like I don't need to see anything else. If we got nothing else from this movie, I'm there day one. I couldn't be more excited. Again, today was a very special day. It was a monumental day. I really think as a day I will remember for a long time. Just as like a very special day. This all came out. I got to talk with a bunch of really cool creators. It was a blast. On both of these streams, I think they were a lot of fun. And you can find me, Darren McClymans. I run the Pipeline podcast every Thursdays. And I do After the Credits every Tuesday. And again, thank you for having me.
Thank you for shipping my Jor-El.
It's Jor-Els Alexandria. That's my main plug, my main YouTube channel. That's where you can find more of me. And thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Jake.
So you can find me right here at Joypad Jake on YouTube, and it's mostly YouTube and Comicful. These are what I do down here at the bottom. We do Let's Plays, rankings, retro reviews, also character costume rankings, where we talk about the best designs for a character in video games. Our next one is actually coming out tomorrow, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys we've done Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman already, and our next one on the agenda is Venom. That's coming out tomorrow, and if you guys want to check out my reaction to the Superman trailer that I did, you guys can go look at that too. I'm on this channel whenever Ronan feels like having me on, and that's mainly what I do. We do those Let's Plays, those reviews, those Arkham rankings. Might have said one of those already, but that's the gist of it.
Nice. Sam?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Team JVS. I am the editor-in-chief of media outlet JVS Media Productions. We're doing interviews, discussions. We're going to be doing a lot of film festivals, conventions. So we've got a lot of content coming down the line. If you want to talk to me directly, you can find me at Super SEL0320 on all social medias. We've got a lot of interesting stuff going on our TikTok right now. If you want to, I used to be a reactor back in the day. Busy Braun, he has brought me out of that shell, and I've been doing exclusive reactions on his channel and on his TikTok. So if you want to see some of my reactions again, go and check out his TikTok. It's got a lot of crazy stuff up there. So yeah, thank you guys. Thanks, Ronan, for having me.